In late June 2008, Papua New Guinea witnessed one of its most sophisticated bank heists, the robbery of BSP Bank in Madang. Orchestrated by William Kapris, a notorious criminal mastermind, the crime wasn't just a display of meticulous planning, but also a damning reflection of corruption and insider collusion. Setting the stage, Kapris's plan began weeks earlier. From Leh, he coordinated the transport of firearms, uniforms, and supplies to Madang, leveraging trusted accomplices and the anonymity of Air Niugini cargo services. The items were sent under the alias Tom, and local team members collected them upon arrival in Madang. Kapris himself traveled to Madang after a brief stay in Leh, where he finalized plans with his team. Meanwhile, Madang insiders informed him that their groundwork was complete. The operation was disguised to appear like a kidnapping, with hostages playing their roles as if held at gunpoint. Recruiting the insiders. Kapris's strategy depended on key bank employees who provided insider information and access. On the Thursday before the robbery, Kapris met with Tom, a BSP staff member responsible for opening the bank's safe. Tom, described as a fat dude from Sepik, had agreed to cooperate during the heist. Through another accomplice, Stephen, Kapris was introduced to Jennifer, a senior BSP employee, and Joseph, the plan's local mastermind. Joseph had established strong connections with the bank staff, ensuring their cooperation. On Friday evening, all involved parties were gathered at Malolo Lodge, where final preparations were made. The heist, Saturday morning, dawned on a seemingly ordinary day in Madang, but at BSP Bank, chaos unfolded. Kapris's team executed a plan that was as bold as it was seamless. Pretending to hold bank employees at gunpoint, the team staged a hostage scenario. The complicit staff played their roles perfectly, walking into the bank and opening the safe under the guise of coercion. In a matter of minutes, they retrieved 2.407 million kina and handed it over to Kapris's team. Once the money was secured, the hostages were taken to Malolo Lodge and released, unharmed. The robbery, though appearing violent and chaotic to outsiders, had been executed without a single casualty. The escaped Kapris wasted no time fleeing Madang. By Saturday evening, he was already on the road to Leh, traveling in a land cruiser. Upon arrival in Leh that night, he activated the next phase of his escape. Supplies, including fuel, water, and food, had been pre-arranged for a journey by sea. On Sunday night, Kapris embarked on a week-long voyage by boat, traveling from Leh through Milne Bay and up the Papuan coast to Port Moresby. This grueling journey ensured he avoided detection by police. Splitting the loot. Once in Port Moresby, Kapris stored the stolen money, over 1 million kina, in the home of Tamara Topsicol Playa, his partner. The remaining funds had already been divided among his team members, each receiving 200,000 kina. High-profile politicians and figures, including Patrick Pruach, Tony Amo, and Francis Maris, were also promised shares of 300,000 kina each. These individuals had reportedly financed the heist by providing resources such as fuel and flex cards. However, Kapris retained their shares, planning to deliver them later. The downfall Kapris's well-laid plans unraveled when he was arrested by police en route to a gathering for the boat skipper who had facilitated his escape. At the time of his arrest, Kapris carried no cash. The million kina stored at Tamara's home remained untouched, though its fate after his arrest became a source of controversy. The aftermath following Kapris's imprisonment, rumors swirled about the missing money. The alleged kidnapping of Tamara's relatives was linked to the loot, though Kapris vehemently denied any involvement. He suggested that those with stakes in the money, including politicians and other accomplices, may have been responsible for the kidnapping in an attempt to recover their shares. The arrest also left high-profile figures in fear. Kapris's potential to expose their involvement in the heist and other crimes sent shockwaves through political and criminal circles, a legacy of corruption. In his confessions, Kapris highlighted the depth of corruption that enabled his crimes. He stated, "Without those high-profile figures and politicians, I, William Kapris, would not have had the capacity to do this." The 2008 Madang BSP bank robbery was more than a theft. It was a carefully orchestrated operation that exposed the intersection of crime, politics, and corporate collusion in Papua New Guinea. To this day, the stolen millions and the identities of all involved remain shrouded in mystery, cementing William Kapris's legacy as the mastermind behind one of the most infamous heists in the nation's history.